Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the video, and let's get on to this. Let's get on talking about this video. Guys, Eddie Reynoso has said that the Canelo Charlo fight is not confirmed. Um, yeah, I think we know. A lot of people have said, "Oh, well, look, Canelo's ducking Charlo," and they've come out with a load of nonsense. That I think this fight's too good to be true. I can't see Canelo taking the fight with Charlo. Canelo's scared. Come on, bizarre people. Some people talk a load of rubbish. You honestly think Canelo is scared of Charlo? Come on. Canelo would fight Charlo in a heartbeat, and he wants to fight. I think they're probably gonna fight Charlo instead of fighting Makabu because they know it's a big payday. They know it's a big fight. Charlo brings a big name to the fight, and it'll do big numbers. It'll be a huge pay-per-view fight. But basically, I think Eddie Reynoso is basically saying that, hang on, there's not been no confirmation. But here's the thing about negotiations. The reason why Eddie Reynoso is saying that is because he's basically trying to say that nothing is confirmed as of right now. He didn't say that, the Charlo rumors aren't true and we're not negotiating with Charlos. He said that we'll let you know about an opponent next week. We'll tell you about who we're going to fight next, and we're going to tell you who we decide to fight. But that doesn't mean they're not negotiating with Jermall Charlo. So that's still true. And the reports that people are saying Mike Coppinger's talking nonsense, or the news that we're hearing is nonsense. No, it's not. Canelo Alvarez is probably negotiating with Jermall Charlo. There's no doubt about that. I'm very confident he's negotiating with Jermall Charlo. Now, the Charlos, for me, aren't going to be easy to negotiate with, and they're probably not going to be easy in terms of they're not easily going to accept a deal. I think Jermall Charlo is going to want a lot of money to fight Canelo Alvarez. I think you're going to be looking at Jermall Charlo probably wanting about 15 to 20 million maybe to fight Canelo. So, for me, if Charlo wants to prove his greatness, I don't think he should be too greedy, but he should also get his worth because he does bring a lot to the fight. And what I mean by that is, I think Jermall Charlo Canelo is going to do crazy pay-per-view numbers. I think it's going to be well over a million pay-per-view buys. So Charlo definitely does bring a lot of worth, but also he needs to be careful he doesn't price himself out the fight, because I don't think Charlo would have earned. I don't think so anyway. I don't think he's earned more than a £7-8 million payday. I might be wrong. I don't know. I'm just going off what I think. I don't think Charlo would have earned over 7-8 million for a fight. So yeah, fighting Canelo, does he deserve a pay increase or a pay rise or a substantial pay rise? Absolutely. But at the same time, he's got to be careful that by negotiating a best deal for himself, he doesn't price himself out and Canelo ends up going in another direction, because this is an opportunity not just to get a huge payday. It's also opportunity for Jermall Charlo to create a legacy and become a legend in the sport of boxing, because Canelo Alvarez is seen by most as the best fighter in world boxing. And by Jermall Charlo beating him puts Jermall Charlo on another level. So hopefully Jermall Charlo doesn't price himself out of the fight and this fight does happen. But one thing we've got to understand is, although we hear rumors about Charlo, Canelo will be negotiating with other fighters as well. So in case the Charlo fight doesn't go through, don't trust me, Canelo will have other opponents lined up as well. But Charlo seems like, the rumors that are coming out, Charlo seems to be the front runner and seems a firm favorite at this particular point to get the fight. These rumors don't just come out of thin air. They're usually, as they say, there's usually no smoke without fire. So there's definitely something going on in the background. There's definitely some negotiations going on in the background, which obviously people like Mike Coppinger and that have found out through sources, and they're letting us know that that a Charlo Canelo fight is possible for Cinco de Mayo. So don't make out that there's no negotiations going on and this is all nonsense. The Canelo and his team, Eddie Reynoso, are just trying to tame it because they don't want to make out that that's going to be the next guy they fight. Unless if negotiations break down and they don't end up fighting Charlo, they'll be made to look bad. So what Eddie Reynoso and Team Canelo are basically saying that we're not confirmed anybody as an opponent yet. These rumors about Charlo are not exactly true because we're negotiating with others as well. And as of right now, that we haven't made our decision on who we're going to go with, because at the end of the day, Canelo's the one that's going to make the ultimate decision. Even if Charlo accepts the fight and stuff, he's the one that's going to make the ultimate decision. They're going to make the ultimate decision on who Canelo fights. So that's my take on that. But do I think they're negotiating with Charlo and the fight will be next? I personally think so. A lot of people doubt that this fight will happen. They feel that it's too good to be true. A lot of people seem to think that Canelo is afraid of Charlo. There's no way Canelo's going to go in the ring with the American fighter, which is absolute nonsense. They feel that he's ducking Benavidez, Andrade, and Charlo, and he doesn't want to go anywhere near these guys because he's afraid. Again, absolute nonsense, rubbish, which, people come out with. Absolute rubbish. Canelo's not going to fight Charlo because he's going to carry on doing what he's doing, fighting these Euro guys. Absurd stuff. Teddy Atlas did an interview, and Teddy Atlas said that Canelo Alvarez will beat Jermall Charlo, but it's a step in class from what Canelo Alvarez has been facing. I don't know about that. I do agree with the fact that Canelo Alvarez will beat Jermall Charlo, but is it a huge step in class? Possibly. Maybe Jermall Charlo is better than Billy Joe, Caleb Plant. But if I'm honest with you, I don't agree with that, because I actually think Caleb Plant will beat Jermall Charlo. I think Caleb Plant's a naturally bigger guy. He's very good boxer. He's very good mover. Got very fast hands. He's a good boxer. He's got a good boxing IQ. And I personally think he would have a very good chance of beating Jermall Charlo, because stylistically, I think Plant has a horrible style for Jermall Charlo. So I don't know whether it's a huge step in class. But again, styles make fights. Just because Jermall Charlo, may have trouble with Caleb Plant, that doesn't mean that Jermall Charlo can't give Canelo trouble. Styles make fights, but I don't see Jermall Charlo beating Canelo. And I don't think it's a huge step in class. I disagree. I don't think Jermall Charlo has proven himself to the point where you could say he's a level above Billy Joe and a level above Caleb Plant. I don't think he has proven himself at all to that level where you could say, he's an easy touch. Jermall Charlo's levels above, or he's on another level to those guys. He's a good fighter. He's definitely got talent. He's definitely athletic. He's got a great jab. He's powerful. He's physically strong. I get all of that. But to say that he's a level above Caleb Plant and Billy Joe, I'm not so sure. I'm not so convinced. I'm not so convinced at all, to be honest with you, because I think Billy Joe could give Jermall Charlo a tough fight. Listen, Jermall Charlo might be a better fighter, might beat Billy Joe. Same with, Caleb Plant. He might end up beating Caleb Plant. But I don't think those fights are easy for him. I don't think, like I said, I don't think he's done that much more in his career, which suggests to me, like, he has got a better resume. He's beaten Austin Trout. He's beaten some decent names, Charlo. But it's not like his resume is stacked with, like, Hall of Famers and he's got a great resume. He's still fairly unproven, at the elite level. So I don't know how much of a step up in class it is. It might be a slight step up in class, but it's not a huge one. I personally think Canelo Alvarez will beat Jermall Charlo, and I think Jermall Charlo will make it a great fight. He'll definitely put it all on the line. Charlo, one thing about the Charlos, I like their energy. I feel like they're warriors. I do feel like they come to fight. I like their energy. But this is for me is a step, you know, too far in terms of boxing ability. Canelo, man, his boxing IQ is sublime. Like, the guy's got unbelievable boxing IQ. He's so smart inside that ring, and that's what makes Canelo so good and so great, is that he's so smart inside that boxing ring. Canelo Alvarez is like one of the smartest fighters out there. He's so smart, so complete at this point. It's going to be hard for anyone to beat him. I actually spoke to Christian about this fight, and Christian was breaking it down, and he was saying that he views it as a 50-50 fight, and Charlo is no cherry pick for Canelo. It's actually a tough fight. He said that, you know, Charlo's got a good chin. He punches hard. He's physically strong. So, you know, and he's got a good jab, and he can control Canelo with a jab. And he broke it down scientifically on how he feels how this fight could potentially play out. Sometimes what we've got to understand when we're breaking down fights, and you got guys like Christian who are very analytical, and they're very good in breaking down fights and giving their opinions. But sometimes what you got to realize is it's the guy that makes the better adjustments in the fight. Those are things that, when you're breaking a fight down scientifically and writing it on paper, a fight's not always going to play out like that. Oh, he's going to be jabbing and he's going to be in control. A fight doesn't always play out like that. Yeah, you're basically talking about their attributes and what they do best, and I get all of that, and that's how you're basing how this fight will go. But sometimes, you know, sometimes a fight might become a brawl. You know, a fight's not going to follow the same pattern or follow a pattern of what you put down on paper because of looking at their attributes. Sometimes a fight will not follow that pattern, because you've got fighters like Canelo who make adjustments. You know, Floyd made adjustments. They make adjustments on the fly, and those adjustments generally get them over, and they've got gears. They can make an adjustment 2 or 3 times during a fight in order to get their hand raised. And that's what makes these elite fighters special, is their ability to make adjustments during fights. When things aren't going too well, they adjust. You know, the way they react. They're very reactive. When they see that, okay, they're having some issues. Like, look at Crawford against Porter. He saw he was having some issues. He, you know, straight away, when he got told that, you know, he may be down, the next round he went on there and put his foot on the gas and got Porter out of there. But that's Terence Crawford for you. That's Terence Crawford. That's what you call an elite fighter. When he needs to pull it out the bag, he'll do it, because they've got gears to their game. They're able to make a lot of adjustments during fights. So, yeah, man, I actually think Canelo Alvarez and Charlo will be a good fight. It's very intriguing. It's very good to see these two big names come together and fight, and see how big the fight is. I think the fight will be massive. I think it'll be massive. I'm talking, this will do big numbers. We're talking million plus with ease. With ease. It'll do huge numbers. And I can't wait. You know, listen, I can't see Charlo winning the fight. If I'm brutally honest with you, I can't see it. But, you know, I've been wrong before. Who knows? Maybe Charlo can rise to the occasion and shock everybody. But I just don't see Charlo beating Canelo. I just don't see it. But time will tell. Time will tell. Leave your thoughts, guys, in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And, guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.